What do you do when you throw away the story that you created for yourself, that you believed was the ticket? What do you do when that story's turned upside down? I enrolled in a Bible school called Victory Bible College. I remember showing up to class, down and out, and I'll never forget, I sat in one class and I heard a verse that radically changed my life forever. That verse was Romans 12:2. And it says, "Do not be conformed to the things of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." I didn't know what it meant at the moment, but I remember this professor said to do certain things, and that when you take God's power and these biblical principles in the Bible and you combine them with your faith, that really good things could happen. And at the moment, I wasn't seeing good things, so it was at least worth the chance. I remember going home to my 600 square foot apartment, and I remember posting these verses around on white note cards and poster board, and I said, man, what is this? This has got to be crazy. Is this really going to work? But I was desperate. And when you're in desperate situations, you do desperate things. And it was at that time that I remember falling on my knees and understanding that there comes a point in life where you've tried to do everything on your own. You've tried to work it out on your own. You've tried to make it happen on your own. And there comes a point where you have to surrender. And I started to take that Romans 12:2 and I started to renew my mind. I did 4 things that strategically changed my life. I call them the 4 pillars. I started to change my focus, number 1. What you focus on is what you go and get. I made a decision to focus on only things that were good. I made a decision at that moment to focus on being out of debt. I made a decision that God will restore my heart. I made a decision that I would be remarried and that I would have a new calling and a story and a testimony that I could share with others. And as I shifted my focus, the second pillar was fitness. And I started to realize that for me to go do the things that God is going to call me to do, for me to win these battles and this fight in my life that I'm in, that I've got to be my best. That I've got to be my best physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in my relationships. And I started to use fitness as a tool. And then family. Man, I started to understand the power in family, not only immediate family, but the relationships of life, where iron sharpens iron. So many times in life when we're going through stuff, when we don't feel worthy, when we have guilt and shame, we hide, we retreat. And I had to make a decision that I was going to get a little vulnerable, that I was going to allow accountability in my life, that I was going to allow people to speak into my life, to mentor me. And I started to build these relationships around me, not only immediate family, but strategically, a few people from Bible school and mentors and guys that could speak into my life at that moment. Focus, fitness, family, the friendships, and the most important one, faith. Over $400,000 in debt, contemplating suicide, in the fight of my life to be a father. I made a decision. I'm going to start to think, speak, and act as if I am really a winner. I'm going to start to think, speak, and act as if I am really a conqueror. And I started to stop focusing on the situation. I started to stop looking at the current moment. I started to understand that I couldn't be moved any longer by what I was seeing. No longer is this going to be a negative situation in my life. No longer is this situation going to hold me hostage. And I threw the chains off. And that's what faith is. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. I didn't see in the natural at the moment. It looked impossible at the moment. But I started to believe it. I started to see the other side. I started to think, speak, and act as if I already was out of the debt. I started to think, speak, and act as if I was already winning. What if I just was to win one day at a time? What if I just was to win Monday, and Monday became Motivational Monday? Tuesday started to become Transformational Tuesday, where God was working on my heart and transforming from the inside out. Wednesday started to become Winning Wednesday, where I started to work on who I was physically and mentally and emotionally and spiritually. Thursday started to become Thankful Thursday, even though I was going through hell at the moment. Man, Thursday was committed to giving thanks for even the small things in my life and have an attitude of gratitude. Friday, man, it was Fitness Friday, but it was also Fight Friday. And I started to take these days and turn them into winning days. And one day after another started to lead to victories over my life. I know that God has worked all things together for good.